Hello, welcome back to Cats and Coffee. Today I'm at work. My work is not affiliated with this podcast at all. I just do this for funsies. I'm closing up the shop. We just had an Alice drill training, which for those of you who don't know, that is our active school shooter drill protocol. So today is feeling a bit heavy. Today is feeling a bit weighted, which is okay. As a teacher, a lot of days feel weighted, you know? There are a lot of heavy topics and whatnot, but as a drama teacher, at least, I try my very hardest always to make sure that my students are getting the safe classroom environment that they deserve. Because otherwise, I'm not doing my job at all, and that would just be horrible, you know? So I'm gonna give you a tour of my room and my things in here. The things that have so kindly been left for me. Because my mentor teacher, Victoria Portsmore. Hi, Victoria. She is pregnant with a little baby boy who is coming, hopefully, fingers crossed, on August 31st. And that is also the first day of school. And I was her student teacher this time last year, so I am taking her job. I get to babysit her baby, and this school is wonderful in every single way. The second I got here a year ago on August 31st, 2025, I knew immediately from entering the parking lot that I was in for a treat. And the second I entered the room, I realized just how special this was. My mentor teacher, my other advisor at Emerson, where I graduated and got my BFA from in acting and theater ed. My advisor, Bethany Nelson, is why I have this job, really, because she was trying to send me to a couple different places in Boston, local, in Cambridge to student teach. Nowhere was really taking any teachers. She sent me one place, and although the teacher was very kind and seemed like a veteran teacher and probably knew a lot, and I could probably have learned a good amount from her, she didn't want a student teacher, and that was pretty obvious. And it was pretty obvious that she had a hefty workload in general, and that the extra, having a student teacher is just an extra thing that you have to do. It's a lot of work for teachers, even experienced teachers. It's a lot of work. And so, I don't know, that situation kind of confused me of like, why did she even tell Bethany in the first place that she could take a student teacher if she clearly didn't want one, And she was a high school teacher. She was only doing 8th grade. And I was like, no, that's not what I want. I've done elementary. I haven't done middle school. I haven't done high school, but I haven't done middle school. And I love every time I've had the privilege of working with a 7th through 8th grader, I have been blown away at their capabilities, creativities, the amount of limitlessness that they are. They truly do think outside of the box and then act outside of the box. I think high schoolers are good at thinking, not acting, and I think elementary schoolers are good at acting and not thinking. But in the middle, you have this perfect mush of everything. It's just goop, and I love the goop of middle school. I think it's special. I think it's the most moldable, and I think because of that, you can make gold out of middle school goop when only like 10% of high school you can make gold. And sure, you can make silver in elementary, but you can't make gold in elementary school. I think that comes when a person just has a bit more lived experience. Anyways, here's my classroom. This is my auditorium. This is where I hold class. I teach 4 classes in a day. I work in a public school, middle school, like I said. I have some podiums, some microphones. This is where an orchestra pit would be, okay, for our spring musical. Can't say what it is. I'm ultra excited though, and I do know. But we're gonna focus on the fall play, and then in the spring there will be a live band in this pit. Pretty cool. It's a combination, that's the word I meant. A combination of all of the different music teachers in the district, and they all kind of come together. Those who can stay after. It's, I believe, a small stipended role, if not a volunteer role, which is really awesome. Waltham is the best school district for theater teachers in the USA. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. There are only 3 theater ed programs in the entire country of the US, and 1 is in Boston and the other 2 are in Chicago. Okay, so when I was applying to schools for undergrad, I applied to Boston, I applied to New York, I applied to Chicago, I applied to Seattle. That was kind of random. And I didn't really go anywhere else because where else do I need to go? That's it. Those are my major cities as an improviser, as an actor, and as an educator. Okay, now I didn't know I was going to have this job then, but what I did know is Emerson was special for that reason. And I'm so glad I chose that school because I got to meet Bethany Nelson, who had worked with Bob Colby, another theater ed legend who sadly passed away. But I've gotten to meet and know and learn from some wicked smart people, okay? I've gotten to sit as a sponge and absorb what's around me, and I am finally, at the age of 23, ready to show that off, not only to my peers and my bosses and my parents and whoever else is watching, but to my students. I'm ready to learn from them. I'm ready for them to learn from me. I have a lot to say. I am not silent. I am not sorry. We're all dying, you know? It's kind of like we're in kind of a tragedy of life right now, and it's hard. It sucks. So I say, flick that away. Take that, cut that out of your brain, okay? Put that in your pocket. Save that for later. Because when I wake up every day, I don't want to dread doing what I do. I don't want to sit in an office and be sad and miserable and lonely and boring and depressed and hopeless. I don't want to be hopeless. I want to be full of hope and full of love and joy and things that bring me genuine, pure fulfillment. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. That's what any human is looking for in life, is to be satiated. I just want to be satisfied. And I am, because I have my dream job at 23. I might not speak to my parents anymore, but that doesn't really matter. I have the best friends in the entire world. I'm going to get dinner with my crush later, or she's making me dinner, I guess. But I have a lovely support of love and all facets of love around me. My cup is full in every single sense of the way, of the metaphor, okay? My cup is full. I am satiated, and I'm ready to continue to sponge and learn. And teaching is an endless loop of learning. It's why I like this job. It makes me feel like I'm not stagnant, like I'm not stuck or bored or depressed or a withering away ant in an endless cycle of pain and death and trauma. Like, I don't feel that anymore because I got out of it. You can too. You gotta dig a little deeper, find out who you are. Anyways, when I dug a little deeper, I found out that I wanted to be a drama teacher. It's actually all I've ever wanted is to teach, and what I need to do right now is teach drama. So here's my classroom. This is an exit where I usually will enter just because my office is that away. If you want a separate pod episode about my office, and we can do like a more in-depth chat about like multiple intelligences theory and like some other educational tools that I like to use at the beginning of the school year to build ensemble, let me know. Happy to do that. This is where the students will enter. And then this is my I have an iPad clipboards cart in here with a child safety lock on it. I have a clock. This is my sloth light, some hand sanitizer, pens and pencils. All of these highly important things, things you need in a classroom. Now, a drama class, this is my first time ever as a teacher having my own classroom. So let's just take a moment of gratitude. Like, thank you, because wow, you can do a lot when you have your own space, okay? Now let's run through some things that are on my teacher cart. I keep all of my stuff in folders. I find it to be the best system of organization for me. This is a play, actually, that I wrote. Sorry, I did not write this play. My best friend Mariana wrote this play, Wings, and I directed it with her. She was my assistant director. And along with Taj. Thank you, Mariana and Taj, for this experience. This lives fond and dear and deep, and has a home in my heart. This whole process with the original cast just means the world to me. We're definitely going to do a unit on plays and playwriting, and I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about some of my own work that I've written and directed and other stuff that I've done. And we're going to spend some time, maybe we need a movie day. We're going to be watching things that I directed, right? Because this is drama class and you can do that. We're going to be watching movies like Wicked and The Odyssey and yada yada. I've got lots of folders, all fulfilling different needs of mine. This is my favorite lesson. This is my first ever. This was for student teaching. So this just has everything I did with the kids this time last year. Sorry, that's actually, I don't know what's really in here, so I'm just going to show you quickly because I don't want to give anything away. But the Elon lesson planning books, thank you, Alec, for giving me this one because I use it like it is my firstborn child. This is my baby, my second-born child, maybe. My portfolio binder. Okay, this is my resume. If we flip through, we're gonna get into all my lesson plans. I have them sectioned by different grade. Like I said, I teach middle school, so I have the whole school. My school is about 570 kids. It's a lot of students, okay? So I make sure all my lesson plans are printed out. I make sure I take notes. I make sure I keep student data and keep track of that all. This is something that helps me remember that. So I also have ADHD, so sometimes it gets tricky. But in here, this is examples of student work. We did a process drama about mafia. If you want me to talk more about process dramas or different lesson plans that I've done, stuff that's been successful, stuff that hasn't been, happy to do a pod episode. We'll be doing a pod episode. Just stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe. And subscribe. Okay. This was a process drama we did about mafia. It was very fun. There were secret witches that made people disappear from the town. These are some monologues for 5th grade. I'm going to reuse them for 6th, 7th, and 8th as just some monologue practice. But yes, this is also a great book for sub plans. If I need a sub, here's the bell. If I need to leave a plan for a sub, I can say, go through this binder, pick something you're interested in, do that, right? It can be very loose. It's drama. My curriculum, I'm actually working with my director of Fine and Performing Arts right now to rebuild the curriculum standards for the whole state of Massachusetts. That's pretty cool. So we're doing that. That's our work in progress as a team, as the Fine Arts Department, Fine and Performing Arts, okay? So Yeah. Here are some books I'm going to go through really fast, some books that I'm going to use for lesson plans this year. Like I said, if I'm not saying it enough, just let me know. But like I said, this is for middle school, okay? My ghost is rattling around up there. There's no like catwalk up there or anything, but there is a ghost. I can feel them. This is a National Parks book. It's great just to have. I like it for like art info or, you know. These are some middle school classics, okay? We need a good book like this, and we need some good reminders that different types of people exist and different types of love exists and everything. You know, I work really hard as an educator to make a non-judgmental space. It's like my one goal in life because I hate judgment. I think it's stupid. Here I am judging the thing I said not to judge, but this is a great book. It's about miming. This is a great book. I use it for my improv unit about play. Mostly childhood play, but that could be a metaphor for any type of play. The Snail and the Whale. I'm gifting this and this to my mentor teacher. This is S is for San Francisco. And I'm going to gift these to my mentor teacher. So hopefully he, Alec, if you're watching, hey, hopefully he can use these in a lesson plan or just have them. I think they're fun. I'm from Northern California, if that wasn't blatantly obvious. Remarkably Bright Creatures, a great way to introduce taking a story that is not a script and turning it into a live movement piece. Okay, great for that. The game Swish is good. Or Swoosh. I have no idea, but there's a game where like I would read the story as the narrator and then somebody would come on and have to perform as each character. So once a character is introduced, another actor on stage has to like, you know, put in the work for that. These I really like. They're doodle pads and they come with markers. They're like expo markers and it's like a laminated sheet. You put it on the floor. It's great for ensemble building. I just have them out on my floor right now because I want them. This is a piece that says cool art goes here. Hopefully students are feeling, hopefully students are feeling artsy and they can draw whenever, obviously. This says welcome. What is the goal you have this year in drama class and why? We're working on the why. We're working on critical thinking skills. When we're in middle school, we're kind of transitioning from that elementary school babiness. We're a little bit more cushioned in elementary school. By the time we get to middle school, we have a high expectations. It's no longer okay to be late to class or school or to miss the bus. It's no longer okay to not know where you're going or to talk rude about somebody or to accidentally, you know, not be spatially aware and like hit somebody on it. Like none of these things are, physical violence is no longer okay in middle school. Like not that it was ever, but if there was a time and a place for that, it makes more sense when it happens in a place like elementary school, okay? The school I work at has what's called a bridge program, which is the behavioral program. A lot of the kids in the bridge program have trouble with behavior due to disabilities like ADHD, PTSD, bipolar disorder, you name it, okay? A lot of mood disorders, depression, OCD, things of that nature. Generalized trauma can really impact a student's ability to learn because you can't learn if you feel attacked, if you feel judged, if you feel unsafe. The second you feel unsafe, the only thing your body is doing is trying to keep you safe, no matter what that looks like or what the situation is, right? So to be able to learn is to be able to create community that is safe. That's why I have things like this. On our first day of school, we're gonna do a mask party, which if you know the Universal Drama logo symbol is the happy and the sad mask. They represent comedy and a tragedy. You often see it in Shakespeare, although it is the Universal Drama symbol, not just for Shakespeare. but we're going to have a paper plate mask party. So students are going to get 2 plates, and they're going to have to make one that's a tragedy, one that's a comedy, whatever that means to them. The masks hopefully will emulate something about themselves so that I start to get to know them better. Whether that's just the colors they like, or an art style they're into, or them drawing things that they like to do on there, it's up to them. I like to do something like this as sort of an ease in. The first day is tough. It's a lot of emotions, a lot of, for me, anxiety. So we're gonna play Where the West Wind Blows as a warm-up. We're gonna do some of this, and we're gonna have a mask party. And I have a 10-hour-long drama playlist that we can go through. My ritual for class is at the beginning and the end of class every single day, there will be a song. That song will have an exit ticket attached to the song. So at the end of the day, students will have to draw, write, reflect, somehow make a tableau about that song. And we'll just go around the circle to do that real quick. Along with stating a piece of gratitude at the beginning of class and at the end of class, saying something we're taking from class with us into the rest of our day. I find these things to be helpful transitions for our brains to hold on to information so it doesn't get lost in the sauce. Because sometimes when you spend all day learning after having a whole summer break of not learning, you're just like, what? So to have a routine that starts on day 1 and stays the same for all 182 days of the school year, it's actually necessary. It's not just like a suggestion. Everything I do is intentional and thoughtful and thorough and thought out. This is my cool down station. We've got some spike tape. We've got lots of plays, lots of books about acting, lots of different monologue books and whatnot. Students can read. I don't mind at any point. You're having a PTSD episode. I totally get it. I will too. And I will have to model how to use this and how to calm myself down in front of students, because I, unlike them, I don't get to just leave the room. So if I have a PTSD episode, everybody is going on that journey with me, whether they want to or not. It's a part of life. I find it good for students to learn that, especially in the age of middle school. This is my TV. I'm gonna roll that out. It's my mentor teacher's. All of this stuff is my mentor teacher's. I say it's mine. I'm just babysitting it for her. Let's be so real. We've got lots of storage, lots of props and costumes, and really anything your heart could desire. If a drama teacher has the space for it, they've got it. They can provide it. You know what I mean? I have so many flats. So many flats and set pieces that we could just paint right over, because there's no need to make life harder. Life is hard enough. This is my fly system. These are cubbies, costumes, props. I'm like forgetting what I already went over, but I know I talked about the pit, and okay, this is my circle. We sit in a circle. That is mandatory. We will never not sit in a circle in drama unless we are presenting and being audience members, okay? Because it's actually on purpose. I want to see everybody. I want everyone to be able to see me. It's accessible. It is feels comforting to be in a circle. There's a lot of research about that, about people being more willing to talk. I have an anti-racist approach to teaching, so when I ask a lot of questions in my class is more like a discussion and less like a me talking student sitting there, because that actually can be pretty racist. Because if you think about it, it can be pretty ableist. You could call it a lot of ists, but really the point is that it's not accessible learning. Because if you're the only one talking, then you're the only one learning, right? The person doing the most talking is doing the most learning. If your brain has to think your thoughts into words to explain it well enough for another human to understand, that is critical thinking skills. That's what I need them to be doing. Every day they're practicing that. It's going to help them with their improv. It's going to help them with their acting. It's going to help them with their life, okay? Learning about theater is like learning about how to be a person. It really is. So if you're autistic or have ADHD or PTSD or you're bipolar or schizophrenic, or if you've struggled or if you're in a minority, guess what? Theater is actually the place to teach you how to be normal so that you can continue being weird. That's what I love about it. It's what I really do love. This is my whiteboard. I've just got the schedule and a little welcome to class. Sign up This is their phone cubbies. I'll put them in there. I'm pretty strict about phones. I'm strict about 3 things. I'm strict about gum because my mentor teacher cares about the gum, so I care about the gum. Because I respect my mentor teacher. I care about the gum. I care about safety. And I care about respect. So those are the 3 things I'm a stickler about, and I'll land on them every time. Respect includes showing up on time, doing your work, all of those sorts of things. That's what I'll land on. My Bethany used to tell me, Barefoot Bethany, would say that you have to have 3 things you land on every time to gain a person's respect. And if you stumble, you've lost their trust and you have to start all over again. So you need to have 3 things and you need to stick to them every single time. You need to land on them, and everything else you can just kind of let it fall. You can just drop it. If somebody has their phone out in class, that's not one of your 3 things. You give them a detention, you move on. It's like not, whatever. What else do I have to say? I feel like we covered a lot. I'm very excited. I'm feeling very inspired. Like I said, me and the current fine and performing arts teachers, we are creating the curriculum standard for the state of Massachusetts, which is really cool. And an honor and a privilege. I'm excited to get to do that, to get to do what I love, and to hopefully have that land with other people, and for them to maybe try my way of doing things. Because yes, I do things a little bit unconventionally, but I think people will soon learn to find that I am probably the most accessible and accommodating teacher you will ever meet. And I will have my students back 100% all of the time, always. No matter if that means it is a burden for me or it is a breeze for me. It doesn't matter, because this is what I'm here for. I'm the oldest of 4. I have 3 younger siblings. I feel naturally mother, and I'm a lesbian, and I know how to get the job done. And what I mean when I say that is that life has not been easy for me. Life has not been a walk in the park. Life has been hard. I was recently kicked out of my parents' home. I don't talk to my parents anymore. But I have 3 younger siblings who are my best friends in the whole world, and I have a wonderful, beautiful chosen family, and I'm surrounded with so much love. And I'm just hoping to share that in this podcast and in my students. Recently this summer, a teacher who I never got the privilege of meeting, but who I subbed for 6 months, Wendy Fournier, she passed away. And one of her quotes written on her wall in her classroom that I cleaned up in June said, "Don't wait for inspiration. It comes while working." So my token to you for the day is, don't wait. Do it now. You're only gonna get older. Time will only tick. You could start now and be horrible, and maybe you'll be somewhere else in 6 months. Or in 6 months, you'll just be right where you are with a few more wrinkles. Think about how big an infant gets in 6 months, right? It's just wasted time. It's about what you want with your life. What are you gonna do with it? I'm 23 and I have my dream job. I'm a drama teacher for middle school. I'm very mentally ill. I'm bipolar, type 1. I have PTSD, I have ADHD. I'm dyslexic. I have 2 Maine Coon kittens. I'm an outdoor cat. I love all things outside. I'm from Northern California, and I'm still here. I didn't think I'd be here. If you had asked me a month ago if I thought that the end of August was ever gonna come and I was ever gonna make it to this job, I would have said no. I mean, I was in the hospital, seeing stuff that wasn't there, hallucinating. Life is hard, but I want to wake up every day and come here and do this because it's kind of my favorite thing ever to do. And I feel very lucky that I get to share that, because the internet could be cool. We could make it cool again, guys. We could. So happy to be your Troy Bolton of the day. Think about what I said, what my Wendy Fournier advice to you. And nobody's watching and nobody cares. So go exercise free will and have a great day. Bye.